Thank you. Start with the question.
Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Thank you for inviting me here, and it is a pleasure for me to share something about Guru, the preceptor. Last evening I spoke something about the lineage, the parampara, the succession of Guru. What is the importance of the succession or lineage of the Guru cult? What is the utility, and if we require some kind of lineage or not? This morning I would like to speak something about the significance of Guru Purnima. Why do we celebrate this Guru Purnima day? What is connected with this, and how this concept of individual Guru comes from the concept of Guru as God. It is the phase-wise development of the concept of Guru, and lastly it came as a human Guru. But tomorrow morning I will give one talk by combining these three concepts: the God as a Guru, the inner conscience as a Guru, and the human Guru. That I shall talk tomorrow morning. So it is a continuous series of talks on Guru. So I hope that you will enjoy if you just follow all the talks successively, because one is connected with the other. Well, the Guru Purnima, why we celebrate? It was in 16th of this month. Today is 20th. So 16th, 4 days. For 4 days, it was the Guru Purnima. Purnima means the full moon day. So it is the full moon day. Why this day is earmarked? It is because this is the birthday of Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyasa. We heard about Vyasa. This is a very significant name in Indian philosophy, Indian scripture. Vyasa, who is Vyasa? It is a very critical question. Who is Vyasa? There are many probabilities, Vyasa may be a kind of taken name, as they took the name Vyasa to write any scriptures, or maybe it is a kind of degree or kind of the prefix, like a doctor something. So it may be kind of that also. Because, why I am telling it, it is because in various cases in Mahabharata, who composed Mahabharata? Vyasa composed Mahabharata. Who wrote Bhagavatam? Vyasa wrote Bhagavatam. Who organized Vedas? Vyasa organized Vedas. Different commentary. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the commentary of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We find there is a commentary on Vyasa. Vyasa's commentary is there on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So, in various occasions, connected with several scriptures, the name Vyasa came up. So, who is it? Is he individual person? Throughout the ages, he was there and connected with all the scriptures, the same Vyasa everywhere? Or it is different Vyasa, sometimes in different occasions he appeared, or it is a false name those who composed very important scriptures, connected with important scriptures, they took the name Vyasa and composed those scriptures. It is very difficult to say right now. It may, at that time, by some kind of unknown reason, they could live years after years. Maybe that. Maybe different person. It is very difficult to find that history right now. But Vyasa. For the time being, but this Vyasa is Krishna, very specifically it is said, Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyasa. This is the Vyasa connected with the initial phase of Mahabharata. So why he is Krishna Dvaipayan? Krishna means black. So his complexion was black. Krishna. Dvaipayan. Dvaipayan means he was born in island. Island means Dvipa. So Krishna Dvaipayan, Veda Vyasa, he is connected with Veda. So he is Veda and Vyasa. So he is Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyasa. We don't know actually, India is very weak in history. But, they said that it was his birthday. Who knows? We don't know. But at some point it was fixed that it was his birthday. So his birthday is celebrated as a Guru Purnima day. Why he is Guru? He is considered the Adi Guru. Why he is considered the Guru? It is because Veda is the source of everything, According to Indian theology, Veda is the source of everything. The full of knowledge, principle. Nobody composed that. So it is Apurusheya in Sanskrit it is said. So Veda Vyasa organized. There are 4 Vedas. Who did these 4 Vedas? It was not written. Randomly it came out from the insight of the ancient rishis. So it is said that Vyasa, he organized those Vedas and he divided or grouped all these material of the Vedas, which will go to which Vedas. He did that. He organized everything. That is why he is called the Adi Guru. So he was the Adi Guru of Indian theology. So in his birthday, it is considered it is his birthday, the Purnima day, the full moon day of this, I think it is Ashada, Shravan, something like that, rainy season, Shravana, it is Shravan. So in the rainy season, it is a rainy season in India, in the rainy season, this full moon day, it is considered it is his birthday. It is said in one of the scriptures as Dvapare Samanu Prapte Tritiye Yuga Parjaye Jata Parasharad Yogi Vyasavyam Kalayo Hare. So when Vyasa was born, it is written in the scripture, he is the son of Parashara. So Parashara, Jata means he was born, Parasharad Yogi. So from Parashara, he was born, Vyasavyam Kalayo Hare in Kali. So it is Dvapare, Sumana Prapte Tritiya Parjaya. There are 3 ages according to Indian philosophy. There is the Golden Age, 4 ages, or cubits. So in mythology, those are Golden Age, Silver Age, second is the Silver Age, and which is called, first is called Satya Yuga, the Golden Age. Then it is called the Treta, the second is the Silver Age. Then the Bronze Age is the Dwapara. And in each age, one is the God there. In Satya, Narayana was the God. In Treta, Ramachandra was the God. And then Dwapara, Sri Krishna was the God. And in Kali, now it is said that Kali, the Iron Age is going on. So however, each age has its own God. And so it is said that the God from this Iron Age and the spiritual practice, chanting, etc. In the third Bronze Age, Dwapare Samanu Prapte. Dwapara means the third, Tritiye Yuga Parjai. According to the chronology of this age, it is in the third phase. In the third or Bronze Age, the man of wisdom, Vyasa, was born as a son of sage Parashara and Satyavrati. Mother was Satyavrati. He had the power of God Hari. It is said, Kalayo Hare, the Vishnu. He was born in the full moon day of rainy season. So it was written. So it is connected with that. Vyasa was considered the first guru of the universe because he was the bedrock of the Indian philosophy and religion. There is a beautiful mythological story. Brahma, the four-headed god, the creator, was in deep meditation. Suddenly, a word was sprout within his being by stirring his heart. Ultimately, the first expression of this cosmos came out from him as a word, Om. The Om is the first word, it is said, In Bible, the fourth Gospel, if you start the St. John's Gospel, what is the beginning? There was Word, and Word was one with God. There are 5 sentences. In Thousand Talent Park, Swami Vivekananda said, these 5 sentences is the essence of Christianity. Definitely, actually, the Christian theology was developed from these 5 sentences. That's a different subject matter. I am not going to that point. But the point is here also, and Swami Vivekananda, in Thousand Talent Park, in Inspired Talks, he actually relates the Christian concept of these 5 sentences and the Indian concept of creation. So, Christian concept of creation and Indian concept of creation, he compared and he showed that it is almost the same concept in Thousand Island Park in Inspired Talk. The beginning of the Inspired Talk is starting with this particular Swami Vivekananda's lecture. However, it started with Om from his 4 mouths. This is the expression of Vedas. Brahma, it is not Brahman. It is very confusing. Brahman is different, but Brahma is the personal God, 4-headed personal God Brahma. And Brahman is the, without form, without attributes, that is Brahman. So this is confusing, these 2 words. This is the expression of Vedas. Brahma, it is the personal God, the 4-headed God, taught the Vedas to other rishis, the seers. They are Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Pulasta, Kratu, and Vasishta, etc. Gradually, the Vedas, by the passage of time, came to the third age, which is the Dwapara. That was the Bronze Age. To make the teachings of Vedas systematic and scientific, God Narayana, Vishnu, incarnated as Vyasa. So Vyasa systematized and categorized the whole teachings of Veda into 4 parts: Rig, Sham, Yaju and Atharva. Not only that, he had taught his 4 favorite students, disciples and competent students, these 4 Vedas, like Paila, he taught Rig Vedas. Again, the same concept, what I spoke last evening, like Shankaracharya, he chose 4 disciples, competent disciples, to carry out each Vedas, so that can be nurtured, that can be cultured, that can be sustained, that can be protected because of that. So Poila, he gave the Rig Vedas, to Vaishampayan, he gave the Yajurveda, to Jaimini, he gave the Sham Veda, and to Sumanta, he gave the Atharva Veda. These 4 rishis again taught Vedas to their disciples, and in turn they taught their disciples, and so on. In this way, a parampara, a lineage, a succession developed. In this way, Vedas came down till date. The Vedas is the fundamental basis of Hindus and Indian philosophy, and Vyasa made the Vedas presentable to us. Not only that, he composed 18 Mahapuranas, that is the 18 Mahapuranas, 18 Upapuranas, the mythology, and the Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, etc. He divided Vedas into 4 parts. That is why he is Veda Vyasa. He was born in an island, so he was Dvaipayana. He was dark complexion, so he was Krishna. So he was Krishna, Dvaipayan, Veda Vyasa. Now the question is, how does the culture of worshipping human guru connected with the day Guru Purnima? Traditionally, Hindu monks live by asking alms. They live on alms. They used to go from house to house to get alms. And in the rainy season, it is very difficult for them to go from door to door because they used to walk, They used to walk and travel from one village to another village. So in rainy season, it was very difficult to go out and to take alms from house to house. So what they did, they sit in a closed place like some cave or somewhere else. These 4 months, they simply confine themselves. They study scriptures. They used to do their austerities and spiritual practice in these 4 days. They don't go out. So, and they worship their own guru also, that is the human guru. So they worship their human guru in these 4 days. So it is called 4 months. It is called Chaturmasya. In these 4 months, starting from that full moon day. So it is connected with Veda Vyasa, but their own human guru also came in the scene as they are practicing austerities from that day. So they start this Guru Purnima days as Chaturmasya. So these 4-month austerities they perform starting from Guru Purnima day. They first start worship to Veda Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasa because he is the Adi Guru, he is the ancient Guru. So that is why they first worship them and they start worshipping this their own human guru and they start their austerities and studies. So in this way, the human guru is also connected with this Guru Purnima. So this is the history why Guru Purnima is celebrated, and this is the mythological story connected with Guru Purnima. And they consider that God as a Guru comes in the form of human Guru. They connect it. I shall take up this tomorrow morning. The connection between the God as a Guru, your inner conscience is Guru, and human Guru. I shall take up this tomorrow morning. So this is the history of that. Now, let us take up how this Guru concept developed? Is he on? Oh, fan or something. Okay, that's so, how this concept of Guru has been developed. We know the concept of incarnation. In every religion, we know the concept of prophet. There is prophet or incarnation. And in Indian theology, we find the translation of incarnation is avatara. But if we consider very carefully, we can easily understand that incarnation is not avatara. Incarnation is a typical technical term in Christianity. What is the concept of incarnation? Incarnation is one, and that is the Son of God. But in Indian philosophy, we find avatars are many. 10 avatars are there. Not only that, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata obhutthanam madhamasu. Whenever there is a declination of righteousness, avatara comes to change the situation towards the righteousness. So, plenty of avatars. So, incarnation is not avatara. This is number one. Second one is that we cannot see God. If we want to see God in Christianity, if we want to see God, we have to go through the Son of God. So our reaction towards God is only we can express towards Son of God. What He did, we know. Our whole connection with the Son of God and not with God. So through Son of God, we have to reach God. But in Indian philosophy, it is not like that. Bypassing avatara, you can connect directly with God. So these are only two differences. There are many differences between the avatara and incarnation. These two concepts are not same in very true sense of explanation. However, I am talking about the concept of avatara in Indian theology. Let us see how avataras are connected with this Guru concept. These avataras are connected with Guru concept. These avataras are Guru. How it is connected? Let us see what is the concept of this. One of the greatly recognized functions of avatara, I have already mentioned one of the functions of avatara last evening. Can you remember that? Yes. I said it is just like the hydraulic wheel. What hydraulic wheel does? It pushes the water, it generates the force of the water, isn't it? And because of the tremendous speed of the water, they can generate the electricity. So it gives a push to generate the force of the water. So exactly this is one of the functions of avatara. Not only that, avatara has many functions. We have to understand that. This is not my topic. I would refer only one or two to understand what is avatara. So, the second point is that these avatars give a little push in every culture. If you find that, and if it is ancient culture, on its way, it collects lot of masses. If a river, it flows from the ancient time, it collects lots of masses. And what happened? The flow, the current, it becomes slower. And sometimes it becomes stagnant. And we know what is the demerits of stagnant water. It spoils. So what happens actually, the whole social culture or religious culture has the same characteristics. If it is the ancient flow, it collects some masses. Hinduism is not exception. Similarly, Christianity is not exception. Buddhism is not exception, because these are the ancient religions. So by the passage of time, this collects lot of masses. So what happens? This avatars incarnates comes and they give a push to maintain the proper flow of this culture, religion, concepts, principles. Not only that, they give a slight tilt. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna said in Gospel in his own village language, that the ancient, the old medicine is not applied right now. So now has a mixture, means a developed thing. Now antibiotic, the developed medicine. The ancient medicine is not applicable in the modern age. So exactly in the same way, the culture, the situation, everything is changing. So exactly in the same way, the avatars, they come to just tilt the flow of spirituality a little bit for the good of the humanity, so that people can get best use of it. They utilize it. So this is another important function of avatara. So these are the few functions why avatara incarnates. Now let us see how avatars are connected with Guru. So different functions of Guru is like this. Few functions I am talking about. This avatara or prophet in Indian spirituality is to teach the world. This prophet comes not for the only one small group of sect. They come for the world. Their teachings are universal. The teachings of Jesus is equally important to the Christians, and it is equally important to Hindus, Buddhists, everybody else, Zoroastrians, everybody else. Exactly the similar. These are the great truth. So, Guru teaches his or her disciples. In India, Guru-disciples relation is regarded as the closest and the highest and the most sacred in human relation. And I have already mentioned last night that this connection of Guru-Shishya, the preceptor and the disciple, it is only available in Indian religion or Indian spirituality. You cannot find this kind of relation in anywhere else throughout the world. So this is the only available thing in Indian spirituality, this disciple connection. So avatara helps these disciples in several ways. We have the great verse, Ajnano timiraranyasya jnananjana shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamajeno tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. He removes the obstacles from our eyes and He lights the knowledge, the light of knowledge. So this is one of the works. But thing, He gives true knowledge. This is the function of Guru. What Guru gives. And I have mentioned last night that the difference between the Acharya and Guru. So, Guru gives, it is Guru, not Acharya. Guru gives the true knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. It is not objective knowledge, but subjective knowledge. Guru gives this subjective knowledge. He instructs about the path one has to follow. What is the ultimate goal of your life? It is very difficult question. It is very, very difficult question. And if you see, I did not find the answer from anywhere else directly as Sri Ramakrishna gave it. And it happened to Narendranath Swami Vivekananda also, because Swami Vivekananda got the direct answer from him. Yes, this is this. However, what is the goal of our life? What do you want? If I ask you, just one question. If I ask you, what do you think? What do you want in your life? If I ask this question. Can you please come up with that? What do you want in your life?
I think that's the peace and happiness.
Good health. Freedom.
I think this is the correct answer, that peace. Everything what we are doing, getting money, having good health, why? For peace. So peace, happiness is little bit, happiness may come, happiness may go. It is not eternal happiness. But peace is the best thing. Happiness also we want for the peace only. So peace is the only thing. It is a very difficult question. As you are attending this class, so you could give the answer. But it is very, very difficult to give this answer. You can ask anybody else. It is very difficult. We don't know what we actually want. So these people, they only showed us what is our path. What should we want? The peace. Now how you can get it and what kind of peace, that is a question, debatable. These are a lot of discussion, analysis is required. But see what we want actually. So these people, they guide us that what do we want actually. They correct when things go wrong. It is the function of Guru. He corrects us. No, you are doing wrong. Then he guides as to the seeker to advance on the spiritual path. How to progress in the spiritual path. And then he awakens people's spiritual consciousness. It is a tremendous thing. I shall come in detail to this point particular afterwards. So these are the few things Guru does. We have to be very clear what is the function of Guru, what Guru does. These are the few functions of Guru. He gives us true knowledge. He instructs about the path one has to follow. He corrects when things go wrong. He guides for the advancement, especially in spiritual path. And he awakens people's spiritual consciousness. And it is Sri Krishna, again, it is Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So one of the great contribution of Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is this. He opened the concept of karma universally. Before Bhagavad Gita, the karma means this Vedic karma, the rituals, all other things. But Sri Krishna opened the concept of karma, everything. Our workplace, everywhere. What we are doing, that is karma. And that karma is connected and changed with the spiritual turn, with the spiritual mold. So that is the great contribution. This is not my subject matter here, but this is the great contribution also of a guru. So physics, chemistry, etc. can be received by ordinary mind from book. Last evening when I spoke, I already said that if you read the mantra from the book, that cannot help you. Rather, that will make some difficulties, that will create difficulties. So, with physics, chemistry, objective science, we can learn from the book, but for spiritual knowledge, higher buddhi is required. With this intellect, we cannot understand or realize the spirituality. For spirituality, we need some kind of sophisticated buddhi or intellect, which has to be awakened by the Guru. Take the example in Bhagavad Gita. In 11th chapter, Arjuna saw the Vishwarupa, the divine form of Sri Krishna. It was not natural. Before that, Sri Krishna bestowed Dadami Dibya Chaksham. So he bestowed the proper eyes to see the divine form. Buddha left his home and hearth by seeing 3 sights. Okay? Do you think it was by chance? No. His mind was ready. A little transformation is required. This small shift, we do not consider this small shift. You have been coming to this center for some time. Suddenly you came here. Try to avoid something, you came here. Those who have been coming regularly to this center with sincerity, dedication and everything, if they carefully analyze their mind, they will come to know, they will realize, I am sure, that a sudden shift, a sudden change, maybe some event, some external stimulus is there. Because of that changes took place in their mind. It is a shift. So a certain awakening is necessary. It is a shift from one level to another level. The whole spirituality, if you think, it is a kind of shift between one way of life to other way of life. This slight shift is necessary. Otherwise, we cannot, move by stepping 2 ways. You cannot row or bike a boat by stepping in the 2 boats. It is impossible. So, a shift is required. So that's why it is said some awakening is required of buddhi, of intellect, to follow the spiritual path, whether we understand it, whether not. Unconsciously it changes. So the point is that this awakening is taken place by the help of Guru. On this, Swami Vivekananda says in Bhakti Yoga, this awakening, he says, In the vast majority of cases, such help, the help of awakening from Guru, is absolutely necessary. When it comes, the higher power and possibilities of the soul are quickened. Spiritual life is awakened, growth is animated, and man becomes holy and perfect in the end. This quickening impulse cannot be derived from books. The soul can only receive impulses from another soul and from nothing else. Please remember the last message of Buddha. What was the last message of Buddha? Atmo Dipo Bhava. What does it mean? Atmo, self, Dipo Bhava. Just light your own self. And this light comes, one candle can be lighted from other candle and nothing else. So one spark comes from individual self to another self and nothing else. So that's what Swami Vivekananda said in Bhakti Yoga. Sri Ramakrishna performed all the functions that I have mentioned right now of the Guru to such an extent of thoroughness that he has become a shining example of an ideal Guru. Through his example, Sri Ramakrishna revitalized the Guru tradition. If we want to go through the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we can find easily that how he wanted. Swami Vivekananda said that Sri Ramakrishna could take a fist of dust and could make out of it thousands Swami Vivekananda. So this was the function of Avatara. Now God as a Guru. It is considered that God as a Guru. It has different theories. The first theory is that from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. You know, there are two types of Sankhya. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is based on Sankhya philosophy. And there are two types of Sankhya philosophy. Can anybody come up with this? Two types of Sankhya philosophy. One is called Sheshwara Sankhya, one is called Nirishwara Sankhya. In one of the Sankhya philosophies, both are Sankhya philosophies. In one part of the Sankhya philosophy, there is no any concept of God. That is called Nirishwara Sankhya. And in another Sankhya philosophy, there is the mention of God. And Patanjali Yoga Sutra is considered the Sheshwara Sankhya philosophy. Because Patanjali Yoga Sutra is based on Sankhya philosophy. And only in two verses, Patanjali is Yoga Sutra, but in only two verses we find the reference of Ishvara. Ishvara Pranidhana. This language has been used. I referred yesterday, one of the verses is Kriya Yoga. Tapo Sadhvaya Ishvara Pranidhana Kriya Yoga. Here, this is one of the verses where Ishvara Pranidhana, the name of God, is mentioned. And another verse, the name of God is mentioned. So, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the God is omniscience because he is not subject to any time, space and causation. So, he is the teacher. God, in Sheshwara Sankhya, in Patanjali philosophy, he is a teacher. Now, it is said, and again, in the first verse of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. This is the first verse of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Here in author, Patanjali Vyasa explained in commentary, this author is the God is speaking. God as a guru, God as a teacher. So Patanjali concept God as a teacher. Now there is the Vedantic concept. Vedanta actually combined this concept of teacher, Patanjali, and the concept of teacher combined together, and it is said, Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedansha Pranihati Tasmai. So according to Vedanta, God is not creator. God created a creator, and then creator creates the universe. So Hiranyagarbha, as for example Hiranyagarbha. So Hiranyagarbha is the creator. Before that, God created the Hiranyagarbha, and then from Hiranyagarbha everything has been created. So according to Vedanta, God is not the creator, God created creator. And in the Pralaya, when everything dissolved, the creator also dissolved, and it went to God as a minute thing. So this is the concept of Vedanta. Then another concept of God as Guru is that, or God as a creator, or God as a source, is that the Nada Brahma, the Vaka, the word, everything has been created from the word. This is another concept of God as a Guru. And then in Bhagavad Gita we find it. See, this Dharma Sthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. How could or how did Sri Krishna establish Dharma? By creating. How does Avatara establish Dharma? By creating a new channel. By opening a new channel. And Sri Krishna did that. And in verse number 1 of the 4th chapter, he said, Imam vivassate yogam praptavan ahamapayam vivassan manave praha manurikto kavem. Here also parampara is there. In verse number 1 of the 4th chapter, you can find Sri Krishna is saying, that I told it. Now I am going to disclose you the secret thing. Karma Yoga. Before Karma Yoga, the 4th chapter, the first verse Sri Krishna is explaining Arjuna. I told it to Vivaswan, Surya. Then Vivaswan Manave Praha, Manu. Manu Ikshu. So it is a parampara. Then Arjuna asked, how is it possible? Because you are with me. How could you speak this particular thing to them? They were ancient. Then Sri Krishna said, here is the difference between you and me. You were also there, but you forgot it. I did not. So here is the difference between the ordinary person and the special person. So it is the 4th chapter, beginning of the 4th chapter. So, this is also, these avatars, they actually create a new line by establishing the dharma. So this is the function, another function of avatars. And Sri Ramakrishna also did like that. It is not completely exclusive of everything, but it is all inclusive. A new concept, a new channel they opened. Exactly, again the example of the stagnant river. What happened? If a river is stagnant, if a river is completely, obstructed by some different fields and muds and everything, if you give a big push, what will happen? It creates some new channels, and water flows in new channels. exactly same thing happened, or exactly same thing happens in all religions. See the Christianity. By the passage of time, when he was a little bit blocked, a new force came. The Calvin philosophy came. The Protestant movement came. All kind of, revised views came. Take the example in Hindu religion. Brahma Samaj came. Arya Samaj came. So all these fresh things and open a new channel. So this is the characteristics in every religion. So this thing happened. They opened a new channel and started a new succession. So this avatara as a guru, they function in this way. Now let us see the concept of Ishta Devata. In Guru Parampara, in Tantra, there is a concept of Ishta Devata, the chosen deity. How this avatara becomes the chosen deity. The concept of Ishta Devata is one of the unique features of orthodox schools of Indian philosophy, which distinguished it from all other religions. Nowhere you can find this concept of Ishta Devata, the chosen deity. India has the capacity to accommodate diverse creeds, What Swami Vivekananda said in one particular word, unity in diversity. That is the theme of Indian philosophy. What is the unity in diversity? Now, present time, perhaps it is a very burning question in the academic field. If you Google, you can find they don't talk about these things. They talk about the common ground. What is the common ground? In interfaith. In interfaith, common ground is a very important topic. And do you know, none other but Diana Eck. Diana Eck is the very, very senior professor in Harvard School of Religion. And she actually promotes that. The common ground. What she said that, she said that I have been, and you can find this interview in the YouTube. She said that I have been teaching religion maybe 30-40 years in Harvard. Now I found that in my class the demography is changing. There are a lot of Asian students. There are a number of students from different other countries. So how can I teach them in a diverse class religion? What should be the common ground? So this common ground thought came to her mind in this way. What Swami Vivekananda said long ago. And this common ground actually, he promoted what should be the common ground. And he said, she was the Indologist also. So she said that it came to her mind that in India, there are a number of religions, diverse religions. How they stay together without any kind of controversy, any kind of fight, any kind of this kind of thing. They stay there harmoniously. How is it possible? Is there any common ground? Exactly Swami Vivekananda said the same thing. What should be the common religion? What should be the universal religion? Is there any universal religion? Religion can be universal. One religion for everybody. Is it possible? exactly in the same way, now they are trying to find a common ground of all the religions, and you can find that. Actually, the government, during Obama's time, he sponsored that. And there are different seminars in different colleges on particular this common ground. Even in the Parliament of Religions, which was held in Salt Lake, I had been there. My topic was the common ground actually. I found at that time, I was searching, I did not know that Diana Egg was initiating that. I know personally Diana Egg. I did not know that Diana Egg is promoting this. Only then I came to know that Diana Egg is promoting this kind of concept, the common ground. What is the common ground? What is this particular basis? Unity in diversity. We cannot ignore diversity. I was born in such and such situation, such and such religious concept. Can I ignore that? Can I go out of it? No, it is impossible. So what happened actually, but still, we must have a common ground. What is that common ground? Swami Vivekananda gave the example, the garland, the bouquet of flowers. In the bouquet of flowers, there are different flowers. There are red, blue, these, that, fragrance, thorn, but it is one. So unity in diversity. Take another example, garland, different flowers, but underlying thread holding all the flowers. That is the unity in diversity. Different rivers merges into the ocean. Ocean is one, holding different rivers. Unity in diversity. Exactly same thing Swami Vivekananda said. This is the characteristics of Indian theology. Exactly it is applied in the concept of Ishtadevata. My time is over. I shall take only 5-6 minutes to finish it. Exactly same thing happens in concept of Ishtadevata. What happens in Ishtadevata? One Godhead, the Brahman. It has different manifestations. The portal is one. Okay? From there different lines are going. The main is one and there are different lines. Exactly same thing. Brahman is one, but there are different manifestations of individual personal God and goddesses. So these personal God and goddesses becomes the chosen deity according to the mindset. So unity in diversity. So that is the thing we have, and what happened is known as Ishtadevata, the chosen deity, Shiva, Kali, etc. The one Godhead, it comes from the one Godhead as a personal God. It literally means the God or goddesses that is desired, cherished or chosen. That is called Ishtadevata. So chosen deity is adored either as the supreme deity or the manifestation of the supreme Godhead. But what is more important is the intensely personal relationship one establishes with the particular form of God. That is important. Why it is personal God? Why it is not formless God? Because we can establish the relation with another human being more easily. Can we establish a relation with a wall? Definitely we can, but we can establish a relation more easily with another human being. And if equal mind, if we have same mind vibration, so more we are in the homogeneous characteristic, it will be more easier to establish a relation. That is the importance of Ishtadevata. So we can establish a very close relation, intense personal relation. We can establish to a personal form of God. The chosen deity becomes one, all in all. He dominates his emotion, outlook, relationships with other people and action. Swami Vivekananda used to sing before Sri Ramakrishna, Tumi Sarveshwara Natha. It's a Bengali song. Thou art my all in all. So this chosen deity becomes all in all, just identified, integrated with this chosen deity. In the Veda, we can find the concept of Ishtadevata. The concept is saying different manifestation of one and same Godhead. We find the worship of Varuna, Rudra, Indra, etc. We also find this expression in the famous verse, Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. This is also the same concept, common ground. One, different manifestation. Truth is one, sages called it by different names. Max Muller called this theory henotheism. One Godhead, different manifestation. It is already concept is there. Max Muller called it henotheism. Webster's dictionary defines it as the worship of one God without denying the existence of other gods. The meaning of henotheism. Webster's dictionary is the quality of Ishtadevata can be applied to Sri Ramakrishna also. Hundreds and thousands of people now accepted Sri Ramakrishna as the Ishtadevata. What just now has been explained about the Ishtadevata is applied to Sri Ramakrishna. The acceptance of Sri Ramakrishna, in different form, in that particular, verse. The verse composed by Swami Vivekananda about Sri Ramakrishna, Sarva Devu Devi Sarupaya. So all kind of Deva and Devi is there, one Godhead and different manifestations. So Sri Ramakrishna has that same spontaneous response to the divine charisma. Actually, what happened? Why people accept this Sri Ramakrishna? Because it is his spontaneous response to the divine charisma and pure love he radiates. It is also in response of his call for the avatar chooses his own devotees and calls them to draw him. It is his intense love and very general personality of Sri Ramakrishna. Now Ishta Mantra, it is connected with Ishta Mantra also. So Ishta Devata relates to the principle of Ishta Mantra. Ishta Devata is invoked through Ishta Mantra. It is a very subtle concept. Let me tell you one thing. What is meditation? What is meditation? What do you do in meditation? You are thinking your chosen deity? Okay? Try to think your chosen deity. Isn't it? Where are you seeing your chosen deity? In the picture? In a statue? We did not see our chosen deity in the human form. Generally we see in the picture. Generally we see in the statue. Okay? And what you do? You are concentrating on your chosen deity. Okay? So you are remembering your chosen deity. Okay? So what we do is the remembrance. Okay? And you are remembering what? The picture, the statue. Try to understand it it is a very subtle thing. You are remembering it in a picture, in a statue. So you are doing the remembrance. What does it mean by remembrance? Remembrance, you are browsing your thought from your unconscious. Isn't it? We have the unconscious. There are thousands and thousands of thoughts. The unconscious is like that. it is a sophisticated gadget. In sophisticated gadget, what you will do? In an Apple mobile, Apple 10, what you are doing? If you delete something, it will never be deleted. You can browse it anytime. So what is there, what we are thinking, what you are talking, what we are listening, everything permanently deposited in our unconscious. It never be deleted. And we can browse it. So, remembrance means you are browsing the thoughts from the unconscious. And that is the problem. Why? It is because when you are thinking, the gate of unconscious is opened. And thousands of thoughts are coming up. That is why when you sit for meditation, thousands of thoughts attack you. Isn't it? Why? It is because of this, when we remember, actually we are opening the gate of our unconscious and thousands of thoughts are coming up. It is very difficult. So without concentrating in one thought, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, concentrate on the one thought, we are opening the floodgate of our unconscious and thousands and thousands and thousands coming up. So it is not actually remembrance. We have to awaken. We are not remembering the picture. Our Ishtadevata is not the picture. Our Ishtadevata is not the statue. Our Ishtadevata is the living being. He responds. He is very, very living with us. So, we are not remembering the picture. We are not remembering the statue. We are remembering the awakening of the Ishtadevata, and then we can meditate on it. It is very, very important. Please try to remember that. We are not remembering simply remembrance. It is not simply remembrance. It is the awakening of Ishtadevata, and then we are becoming identified with that. Try to remember that. It is not simply remembrance. So this is what is happening. Ishta mantra, what it does, it awakens the picture, the statue, the living thing. This is number one function of Ishta mantra. The second function is this. We always hear, Swamiji, if we sit for meditation, we sleep. Why? The great thing is that when we sleep from the present, everything stops. Take the example. We have this experience. If you read a book, what will happen? If our mind is not at the present, we read the book, but we could not register. We have to go back again from the first line and we have to read again. Exactly in the same way, remember, when you stop repeating your mantra, you will fall asleep. And we are actually, we confuse. We think that, okay, we are repeating because that momentum is going on inside, but you are not. So it is another thing, this Ishta mantra makes our mind at the present, mindfulness. So these are the two practical things. So, a mantra is a mystic formula which encodes the supersensuous truth and has a power to reveal the transcendental aspect of the deity. So it reveals the transcendental aspect of it, awakens. This mantra revealed to the seers in the depths of the contemplation. Mantras pertaining to Sri Ramakrishna have been evolved, and the sanctity and power of this mantra have been preserved by the succession of the competent teachers. That's how I spoke last evening. What does the mantra signify? In the Shakta tradition, the mantra has at least three main parts. The first part is Om. It is according to Tantric concept, which is common to all mantras. This is followed by a cryptical symbol known as Bija, which is specific to each deity. And the third part, the component is the name of the deity. This may be followed by a word such as Namaha, which indicates the act of self-surrender to the deity. Om is the most ancient, sacred, frequently used universal symbol of divinity. It stands for the both impersonal and personal aspect of the ultimate reality, known as Brahman. In mantra, it stands for infinite, indivisible, akhanda, Supreme Godhead. In Mandukya Upanishad, identifies Om with the whole reality. When seen through the narrow channels of human understanding, the undifferentiated universal dimensions of Brahman appear as differentiated divine entities or divinities or deities. These differentiated or khanda aspects of Brahman are symbolized by certain cryptic words known as collectively the bija or seed. So these seeds or bija is nothing but the differentiated thing of undifferentiated Brahman. And is connected with the anthropomorphic form. You know what is anthropomorphic? I am a little bit faster. From various god and goddesses such as Shiva, Kali, etc. This means each deity has his or her own bija. Speaking about the khanda or akhanda aspect of Brahman, Swami Vivekananda says, and as the Om represents the akhanda, the undifferentiated Brahman, the others, bija, represent the khanda or differentiated view of the same Brahman. And they are all helpful to divine meditation and the acquisition of true knowledge. Unquote. The Bija is a symbol or code of the spiritual power or power base of the deity. It provides the connecting link between the Supreme Godhead and the individual deities. So, again, the unity in diversity. So these are diversity. Each diverse devatas are connected with these bijas. It bijas awakenings the picture or statue. This is the main function. So in this way, the Ishta Devata, these avatars, functions as a Ishta Devata, a new parampara, a new channel, a new Ishta Devata, a new bija, a new Ishta mantra connected with that and its functions. So, now the meditation. What is the meditation? Then becomes the meditation of Ishta Devata. And mantra of Ishta Devata is this, what we are doing actually again. We are thinking the image or an awakened image of things. Do you think that if we become living, that is all in all? No. We are starting from the finite, but we want to go to the infinite. We are starting with the human being, but our meditation will lead us to the infinite human, the deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. We are with form, with this structure, the psychophysical structure, but within the infinite ocean without form. So starting with finite, going to the infinite. Second, not remembering, but awakening of the spirit of object. Third, harmony of word, meaning and form. What we are doing in our spiritual meditation. Harmony of word, mantra, meaning and form. We are harmonizing this. 5 minutes. Any question? Yes. What is that?
Can we meditate on our Ishta mantra?
Meditate on Ishta mantra. Yes, I have already said it is the harmony of word, meaning and form. That is your meditation. Yes.
Swamiji, what is the difference between Avatara and Avadhuta?
Oh, Avadhuta is also avatara. Avadhuta is the concept of a particular sect. Avadhutas are teachers. That is also, they are also avatars. Avadhutas are different teachers. They say bird is teacher, nature is teacher. This is a concept. These Avadhuta people, it is a sect. These people, they believe that there are different gurus. 24 gurus probably they consider. So 24 gurus. Who are the teachers? Who are the gurus? The nature is guru. The tree is guru. So in this way, they consider everything is guru. Because they contribute some kind of knowledge to us, wisdom to us. This is a concept of a Avadhuta state. These Avadhutas are the who belong to that sect. But Avatara is the Godhead. They are coming from assuming the human form with 1,000 qualities of God. That is the difference. Do you understand what I am saying? Avadhutas are the teachers, Avadhutas are the teachers. That is a sect. But they are not assuming always the qualities of God. You can believe it, you cannot believe it. Nature, as for example, nature is teacher. You can consider nature is God, you cannot consider nature is God. You understand that? But Avatara is a very specific, with all kinds of qualities of God. They assume they are human form. They are only the manifested God. But these are not manifested God, I don't think so. They are the teacher.
So Maharaj, what would be an example of
I said that it is a sect. Avadhuta is a sect. The people belong to that sect is called Avadhuta. And Avadhuta believes that they have many gurus. The nature is guru, the 24 gurus they have. As for example, the Jains, they consider they have, or Sikhs, they consider they have 10 gurus. Sikhs, they consider 10 gurus. So what is the difference between, you may consider these 10 gurus, one of the gurus are avatars. You may consider that, you may not. Exactly the same way, the Avadhutas are like that. The teacher means they taught, but gurus, they awakens, I have already mentioned it, they awakens The Acharya, what is the difference? Yesterday I told. Acharya, difference between Acharya and Guru. They are teacher, Acharyas. They awaken the inner consciousness, the spiritual heart within you. This is Guru. This is a very specialized function. But teachers, as the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, God as a teacher, they can teach you. This is good, this is bad. That's all. They cannot awaken the inner consciousness. It's a different shift. You cannot understand this thing in your ordinary buddhi. Awakened buddhi, as Swami Vivekananda said in Bhakti Yoga. So this particular point we have to understand. If you try to understand your ordinary as you have understood your physics, chemistry, accountancy in your this intellect, if you with the same background or on the same intellect, if you want to try to understand the spirituality, you cannot. Because a awakened buddhi is required. Spirituality is not at the same vibration what you have gathered, collected, the objective knowledge. Spirituality is not objective knowledge, it is a subjective knowledge. That's the problem. We understand, try to understand it with our ordinary intellect. Can you please, a lot of devotees, just one or two words, can you please try to make me understand what is this? What do you think? You can get the information, that's true. But no help you can get from here. Do you understand? You have the information. That's all. But the information will not make any change in your life and living. That's all.
Change must come from within.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Sorry to take half an hour extra. So you said, the next lecture I can shorten and finish.
Why don't you say just a 10 minutes because it's already 12 o'clock.